झी 24 तास एक पाऊल पुढे.
जय ललिता यांची पत्रकार परिषद सुरू आहे. अतिशय महत्त्वाच्या मुद्द्यावरती आपल्याला माहिती आहे ती पत्रकार परिषद सुरू आहे. सुरक्षेच्या कारणास्तव विश्वरूपावर बंदी घातली असं जय ललिता यांचं म्हणणं आहे.
The district administration, the collector takes the decision of banning that person's entry into the district for a certain period of time. Thereby we maintain peace. So maintaining law and order doesn't mean allowing a situation to erupt and turn violent and then trying to quell the violence. That's not always possible. It's not sensible. It's not practical. The sensible way of maintaining law and order and maintaining the public peace is to prevent violent incidents from occurring. And when you know that there is going to be violence in a certain situation, in a certain place, it is the duty of the government to do whatever is possible to prevent that from happening, to take preventive action. It is only in that spirit that we approached the issue of the release of the film Vishwarupam. Now, I have been accused of having a personal motive in this. One motive that has been attributed is some business interest in a private TV channel. Many papers have published such reports. Many TV channels have reported such news. The channel in question is Jaya TV. Jaya TV is a channel which supports the All India Anna DMK. Other than that, Jaya TV does not belong to me, does not belong to the party. I do not own any shares in Jaya TV. I am not in any way associated with the administrative, day-to-day administration of the channel. I have nothing to do with Jaya TV. So to say that there was a demand that the film should be sold at a low price to Jaya TV and because of that I am taking this action is a wild, reckless charge against a responsible constitutional authority. And whoever has made these charges, we will have to take legal action against them, whether it is a newspaper, whether it is a TV channel. And the reason being attributed for that is that he made a speech at a function somewhere saying that a dhoti-clad, a veshti-clad Tamil should become the Prime Minister. Now, why should I take offense to such a statement? Mr. Kamala Hassan has got the freedom to wear his political views like anyone else. If he wants a veshti-clad Tamil to become the Prime Minister, that is his opinion. And by now I have been in politics for enough years. I have been in politics for more than 30 years. I am experienced enough to know that Mr. Kamala Hassan does not select the Prime Minister of the country. So, at the time the elections take place, more than 100 crore people are going to cast their votes. And after that we have to see which formations emerge. And out of the emerging formations, the future Prime Minister will emerge. So why should I take offense? And then Mr. Karunanidhi has come out with a wild, fictitious story that I wrote a letter to Mr. MGR in the 1980s complaining about Kamala Hassan. Now, this is one of the most ridiculous pieces of fiction, one of the most absurd charges I have ever faced in my life. In the 1980s, I was meeting Mr. MGR on a daily basis. He was the Chief Minister. I was the propaganda secretary of the party and an MP. Every day he would go to the secretariat in the morning. I would go to the party office in the morning. In the afternoon, both of us would meet at his Mambalam office. We would have lunch together. After that, we would discuss various issues for hours together. I would brief him on all the issues concerning the party, about various petitions that were presented by party men, about various petitions that were given to me by members of the public wherever I went, and he would call the necessary officers and issue the necessary instructions. So when I was meeting him practically every day on a daily basis, why should I write a letter to him, and that too on such a trivial matter? So since Mr. Karunanidhi has made this fantastic charge, it cannot be dismissed lightly. So we will be instituting legal proceedings for defamation against Mr. Karunanidhi and all the newspapers which have published this fictitious defamatory charge. So I would like to make it clear that I have no personal grudge against anyone, no personal interest in banning the movie. I would also like to point out that if at all there is an adversary, if I do have an adversary, it is Mr. Karunanidhi himself, my political adversary. His family members are regularly producing movies and releasing them. I have not done anything to ban the movies produced by Mr. Karunanidhi's family members or stall the release. So why should I do so in the case of Mr. Kamala Hassan? Why should I have any grudge against Mr. Kamala Hassan? It just doesn't make sense. There is no reason, no motive at all. And then there has been some misleading information in the media that the state government doesn't have powers to ban a movie. Now that is a total misconception. I would like to correct that. We have the Tamil Nadu Cinemas Regulation Act 1955. Tamil Nadu Cinemas Regulation Act 1955. According to Section 7 of this Act, the state government has full powers to ban a movie if it feels there are sufficient reasons to do so. It was under this Act that the movie Damn 999 was banned. It was upheld by the Supreme Court. So the state government has got full powers. So if I really wanted a ban on this movie, I could have banned the movie straight away. My government could have issued a ban under Section 7 of the Cinemas Regulation Act 1955. But we did not do that. I did not do that. If I wanted, I could have done it. But I didn't do it. So that itself should show, that itself should prove that this is not political vendetta. There is no reason for any vindictiveness. Mr. Kamal Hassan is not my rival in any way. The reason we did it under Section 144 was to give time for tempers to cool down so that both sides could have a discussion and come to an agreement. Now there has also been a lot of talk. Mr. Kamala Hassan has said that he has pledged all his properties and he stands to lose everything if the film is not released. Now Mr. Kamala Hassan is nearing 60. He's 58 years old. He's a responsible adult. What he has done is to take a calculated risk, a calculated gamble. If he has taken a decision to produce a movie with a mega budget running to hundreds of crores, and if he has pledged all his properties for the same, that is a conscious decision that he took. So how can the government be held responsible for that? How can the government be accountable for that? Now coming to the actual ban itself, I have no interest in movies. I stopped seeing movies years ago. Earlier, during my earlier terms as Chief Minister, many cinema producers and directors used to invite me to watch their movies. And once in a while, I used to oblige them if they were friends. But now they have understood I'm not interested. I'm simply not interested. So actually they have stopped inviting me. Because films don't interest me anymore. I have no time to watch movies. So I knew nothing about Vishwarupam, personally. And as for the Muslim leaders who have been protesting against the movie, I have not met them so far in this regard. They have not met me either. What happened was that this movie was announced, that the release of this movie was announced. And leaders of several Muslim organizations, including a federation comprising 24 Muslim organizations, they presented a memorandum to the Chief Secretary. This was quite some time ago. Chief Secretary forwarded this memorandum to the Home Secretary. And then the concerned Muslim organizations' representatives met the Home Secretary. At that stage itself, they wanted to see the movie. So from the government side, a request was made to Mr. Kamala Hassan to show the movie to a few representatives of the Muslim organizations. Had he done it then itself, all this trouble probably could have been avoided. But he avoided showing the movie. He actually set a date, invited them all to his office to watch the movie, and after they all went there, then he told them that the release of the movie had been postponed. And so he was not able to, he was not willing to screen it that day. Then almost a month went by. Then again there was a delay in the release. That was because of a problem that he faced with theatre owners because he announced release of the movie through DTH. Government was in no way involved in the delay of the release. Then finally, again, at the very last moment, when the film was scheduled for release on 25th January, on 21st January he called the representatives of Muslim organizations and showed the movie to them in his office. That was also at the urging of the government. After watching the movie on 22nd, all the representatives of the Muslim organizations sat together and decided that they did not want the film to be released. So then they asked for a meeting with the Home Secretary. They met the Home Secretary on 23rd and they demanded a total ban on the movie.
झी 24 तास एक पाऊल पुढे.